that we've heard that my car does sound like a Mack truck, let's get into it. We are heading off on a 2-day road trip along the Great Ocean Road. It's me, Ben, my 2 kids, and our friend Jana with her 3 kids. Last night we stayed at Torquay, which was absolutely stunning and a great way to start this adventure. Our first stop is Bells Beach, one of the most famous surf breaks in the world. It's home to the annual Rip Curl Pro, the longest running professional surfing contest. Huge Southern Ocean swells crash against the cliffs here, making it a bucket list spot for surfers and a great place to take in the view. And it's a pretty cool place if you've ever watched Point Break. Next, we check out Eagle Rock Marine Sanctuary in Airlie's Inlet. And right next door to it stands the Split Point Lighthouse, which you might recognise. It was the set of the classic kids' TV show Round the Twist. Have you ever
felt like this?
Where strange things happen
When you're going round the twist.
Thanks heaps for that, Ben. That would have to be the most Aussie rendition of Around the Twist theme song I have ever heard in my life. Then we were off to Teddy's Lookout, which is right above Lorne. From up here, you can see the St. George River winding into the ocean with turquoise water and sheer cliffs. It was definitely one of the best viewpoints on the Great Ocean Road, in my opinion. So as we make our way back down to the Great Ocean Road, here are some fun facts about what makes this drive so special. So the Great Ocean Road is the world's largest war memorial. It was built by around 3,000 returned soldiers between 1919 and 1932 to honour those who died in World War I. It stretches for about 243 kilometres from Torquay all the way to Allensford, hugging cliffs, beaches and rainforest. Every bend looks like a postcard. More than 2.5 million people visit every year, making it one of Australia's most popular tourist drives. The limestone cliffs you see along the road are around 20 million years old, slowly carved by the Southern Ocean. Another fun little detail, this road wasn't actually finished until 1932, and when it was, Victoria finally had a direct coastal link between the isolated towns of the southwest. So as you can see, with views like this, with the turquoise water, the golden cliffs, and the winding roads, it's easy to see why this is considered one of the most beautiful coastal drives in the world. Next stop is Maits Rest, a short rainforest boardwalk. These trees are ancient, some dating back to the time of the dinosaurs. They have towering myrtle beech and giant ferns, which make it feel like you're stepping into a whole nother world. The kids absolutely loved it, and it's a great spot to get out and stretch your legs along the Great Ocean Road. So Maits Rest is one of the hidden gems of the Otways. It's a short 800-metre boardwalk that winds through cool temperature rainforest. The path takes you under towering myrtle beech trees, some of them hundreds of years old, with moss-covered logs, giant fern trees and fungi everywhere. And next up, Lennix decided she was the star of the show, as always. She grabbed the camera and started vlogging, giving us her own little tour. But when we tried to take the camera away, let's just say she cracked it big time. Of course, as soon as we handed it back, she was all smiles again. Future YouTuber in the making for sure.
Go.
Go, 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 go get him! Go, 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 here. Watch your hand, watch your hand. How's that?
Really?
Come on, Lee. Our next stop is the Californian Redwoods. It is tucked away in the Otways near the beech forest. So these giant plants were planted back in 1936 as part of a forestry experiment, and today they soar more than 60 meters high. Walking through them honestly feels like you're stepping into a whole nother mythical world. It gives me like Twilight vibes. You know the movie Twilight? That's what it reminds me of. We stayed here for probably a good hour, maybe an hour and a half, just exploring, walking through all of the massive trees. We also explored the little creek, and Ben found what I believe is like a yabby, I think. This water was crystal clear and absolutely freezing to touch. So of course we put him back and we headed off to our next campground. So it was a short, maybe 10-15 minute drive, and we were staying at the Beauchamp Falls campground. It's a free bush style camp right in the middle of the Otways, surrounded by tall eucalyptus and rainforest. The facilities were pretty simple. There was a drop toilet, picnic tables, and a couple of fire pits, but the setting more than makes up for it. The campground itself was super peaceful, with plenty of space for tents and smaller setups, and the sounds of the forest carrying through the night. It's just kind of the place where you switch off, you breathe deep, and just enjoy being in nature. Day 2 starts bright and early as we roll out of Beauchamp Falls campground and head deeper into the Otways. The drive through the forest is so picturesque, with morning lights streaming through the trees. So our first stop this morning is Triplet Falls, one of the Otways' most famous waterfalls. The loop walk here is only about 1.2 k's, but it packs in so much. The rainforest is alive with towering mountain ash and myrtle beech, ancient ferns and moss-covered logs. This ecosystem is barely changed since the age of the dinosaurs. The falls themselves get their name from the 3 cascades that tumble down side by side, roaring through the gully. From the viewing platforms, you get incredible angles of the water thundering down the rocks. If you're adventurous, there are even unmarked tracks that take you down to the base of the falls. And of course, Ben couldn't resist exploring down there. But from the top, I sent the drone up so you'll be able to see the falls from every single angle. Triplet Falls also has a fascinating history. In the early 1900s, this was a busy timber cutting site. You'll notice rusted relics of the old Kai-Track sawmill along the track. Rails, the log haulers and machinery all left behind when the mill shut down in the 1950s. It's pretty wild to imagine giant mountain ash trees once being dragged out of this forest in those carts. So here you get the perfect mix, incredible natural beauty and a glimpse into the Otway's pioneering past.
What do you reckon, Lennix? Sit down, have a break.
Have a Kit Kat? Thanks, darling. Wow. Alrighty, so as we continue on our way, our next stop is the 12 Apostles. This is the most iconic stop on the whole Great Ocean Road. These towering limestone stacks were formed over 10 to 20 million years, carved out by the relentless wind and waves from the Southern Ocean. Originally, there were only 9 stacks, and today just 7 remain, as the ocean keeps slowly wearing them away. They raise up to 45 meters high. It was incredibly windy when we stopped off, which is pretty standard here, and being the school holidays, it was absolutely packed. Parking was a nightmare, and with the kids, it wasn't easy to get down to Gibson Steps, where you can walk on the beach and see the cliffs from the sea level. But even from the top, the view of the cliffs plunging straight into the ocean with the waves hammering the stacks is absolutely breathtaking. This is one of the sights you just have to experience for yourself. No photo or video can capture how dramatic it feels in person. We stopped off as well at a place called Wreck Beach. This stretch of sand sits below massive cliffs and feels like you're on your own private beach. It's named after the old shipwrecks that happened here in the 1800s. At really low tide, you can still spot the rusting anchors of ships like the Fiji and the Mari Gabriel sticking out of the stand, which is just reminders of how dangerous this coast once was. The beach itself is absolutely stunning, with its golden sand, crashing waves, and lots of little caves carved into the cliffs. Getting down there means tackling more than 350 steps, so it's a bit of a workout, but once you're on the sand it feels absolutely wild, isolated, and completely different to the busier stops. Our next stop is London Arch, which used to be called London Bridge. Originally it was a double-span rock formation looking just like its namesake, but in January of 1990 the arch closest to the shore suddenly collapsed without warning, leaving 2 tourists stranded on the outer span until they were rescued by helicopter. Our last stop on the Great Ocean Road is the Grotto. It's a mix of cave, sinkhole and rock pool all in one. It's one of those spots that feel almost magical, especially when the tide is right and the light hits the water just right.
You want me to take a photo of me?
Stay on track. Look at this. Oh, that's sharp.
And of course, Ben could not resist. He jumped in for a freezing dip in the rock pool. As you can probably tell from his face, the Southern Ocean isn't exactly warm.
I can't breathe. That's cold.
One last fun fact about the grotto. It was formed over thousands of years as the sea gradually eroded the limestone cliffs, first creating a cave, then a sinkhole, and finally the natural rock pool that we see today. It's a rare spot where you can see the raw power of the Southern Ocean and its calm beauty all at once. From here, Ben and I headed back inland to the north central Victoria region, getting ready for Christmas Day in just a couple of days' time. Meanwhile, Jana and her crew continued on to Warrnambool, where we'd meet up again to kick off our next big adventure, a road trip across to Western Australia. So with that ends the last part of our road trip. If you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel, give it a like, let us know anything that we did miss out on, and if you stay a little bit longer, here's the maps of what we did on day 1 and day 2. Hope you guys enjoy. See you next time.